Hi, welcome back to the channel, TrainStation 2. Alright, give you a progress update on delivery challenge. I also share with you that I managed to upgrade one of my region 4 legendary train. Alright, so as usual, for this delivery challenge, there are two jobs by now, you should know. One gives you 7 stamps and another one gives you 2 stamps. So generally what you should do is always focus on the 7 stamps, and only when you have additional dispatcher, then you go for the 2 stamps job. Meanwhile, do remember to collect your gold along the way every, I think, 4 hourly. You should have sufficient gold for upgrade if you are in a certain region, probably at the lower end. But once you move on to the higher end region, it gets quite expensive. So probably after a few collection of coins, you may be able to upgrade one train itself. Alright, so it's really expensive to upgrade trains and move on to a higher region. Okay, so quite happy so far. Managed to hold on to the top spot for this moment. Apparently, maybe in the weekends, people are resting away from the game. Well, I'm still working hard on that. Alright, probably gonna speak later. It's too noisy here. Alright, so do those upgrades of your buildings. You can see there 5 buildings being laid out. So what happens is that every time there'll be 4 requests, just going to fulfill them and keep on upgrading the population. And with that sufficient population, you will have to upgrade your warehouse. Alright, now it's more peaceful in Russia. So what's going to happen is really a lot of items that they ask for. Very common ones are really chairs and paint. So these are the things you got to prepare. I mean, saw blades as well, nails as well. But the good thing about delivery challenge is that you can bin away those jobs that you can't do. So apparently it's free for once. The second time it's free either, but just that you're gonna watch the video. Okay. Subsequently, you want to do it, you're gonna pay gems, but definitely don't do that. Alright, it's totally not worth it. So please make sure collect those coins as and when it's possible. And also when you have free trains time, make sure your factories are filled up again. Otherwise it's kind of wasted having to wait for the items to be produced. So lucky me, sometimes there are jobs that only require the delivery of steel, which I can grab from the factories. But I always try to grab more steel so as to gain the time to create those nails and saw blades. And of course, saw blades, you need this iron ore in order to do iron powder, and then together with the steel and iron powder, that creates saw blades. Okay, so generally I'm quite happy here because we have those paint, and of course we do have this steel as well. Just be careful not to use up all the steel because you've got delivery to do. So meanwhile, try my best to maintain that balance. Alright, the train sounds very noisy again. Alright, so iron powder, as I mentioned earlier, iron powder and steel gives you saw blades. So these are the things you're going to make up front, because you do know that nails are taking a shorter time compared to saw blades. At the same time, you do know that it's more... It's just difficult to speak. Alright, so just mention again, saw blades takes a longer time, take more components, more time in the context to convert your iron powder from the iron ore itself. Okay, so collecting of gold is important. It's something you're going to be critical. You're going to do it on a conscientious effort to make sure you get those goals ready. What I'm trying to do is really to upgrade all the region trains to probably 60 if that's the only one that's available in the region. For example, I think region 1, I only have a regional legendary at 60. I think as we move on, we managed to get event trains of 80 capacity. I have one in region 4 which is currently at 59, so I still have about 21 more upgrades to do in region 4. Again, leveling up legendary is no easy task. It takes a lot of gold parts, and the good thing about this is really they're giving, I think, 45 gold parts. That's probably good for 1.5 so it needs less than 2 upgrades. So like I said, not only it takes gold, it takes gold parts as well. So just make sure you get opportunity to so-called get gold parts, get them. Later on, I think I spent about 7,500 gold coins to buy those parts as well. So whenever there's gold parts, I'll try to buy them because it's not easy to get them anyways. So just try your best to collect more of those legendary gold parts. Okay. So like you can see here, preparing those paint is quite a pain. Those produce a paint, you need 200 fuel in order to produce one set of paint. It's definitely very painful. So you have here for you, I'm not too sure, but for me I have 9 dispatcher. That comes handy, especially with the huge capacity. It just helps me to move things really fast. Sometimes I'm able to do both the 2 stems and 7 stems at the same time, and yet we still have balanced trains. So it depends on what is required in terms of the train types. So that's really helpful, especially you have different types, and then you have quite a huge train with capacity. That's really easy. So as you progress further into the region, you'll find it easier because your trains seems to have grown in capacity, and of course the types as well. So that's it. Something to look forward. Of course, it's a new region, but at the same time, don't really look forward to the fact they're going to start from scratch again, i.e. starting from scratch, from getting common trains, rare trains, epic trains, as well as the legendary trains in the region, fighting competitions to get the first set of event trains, and then slowly upgrading them again. So it's quite painful, but that's kind of part and parcel of this TrainStation 2. Every time we just got to do that. Alright, I hope you've watched my previous video, which is on the new main event, and that finds it a bit looking forward. I mean, generally, whenever there's events, I always look forward to the trains. Of course, there are other things you look forward to, conversion of the gold, as well as those parts. I mean, there are people, like I said, do not go for the trains, they go for parts, and eventually probably they have more than sufficient trains already, so they're just going for the parts. But let's say it depends. For me, if it's a totally new so-called event, probably it's good to collect that train, because the event may not come by again and you have something to look forward again. I mean, generally upgrading of trains will never end, and eventually when you look back at your so-called fleet in a different region, you do wish to have a good collection of those trains fleet, don't you? Because those upgrading, yes, it is important when you fight a competition, but generally after a while when you cross that region, it's no longer that important. So it's just for me, it's more towards a collection. Alright, although we do not level up fast, but that's part and parcel of it. As you do drops, you get level up. I'm already at 372. Created quite a good gap so we can go to like sleep, and hopefully they don't catch up that fast. Alright, so lucky me, we've prepared those saw blades, and with a good capacity. Okay, unfortunately we have 6 less. Alright, probably gotta do one more there. Yes, we have one more set, that's great, and nails as well. So we have more than sufficient items to deliver, and of course with the huge capacity train, it's easily done, provided I don't ask for rare trains. You can see here we still got 2 extras, so we're gonna do some collection of steel again, so to get there. Alright, so there's still a good about 46 so-called stems as a gap, so that's equates to roughly 7 times or so, assuming they're getting, probably less, 6 times if they're using the 7 stems as a calculation. If you're using 9 stems as a calculation, that's about 5 times roughly, because otherwise this is a bit tough to create that gap to when you're asleep. People will just catch up. Alright, gonna watch a video, get additional dispatcher, and you can see there people is catching up really fast. So likewise, I'll just keep on doing my part while I'm still not fast asleep. So soon we will be fast asleep, and we're just gonna pray that tomorrow the gap would be still be there, or the gap should be that narrow, or that's worse scenario as overtaken. So that's part and parcel, but that doesn't matter. It's part and parcel of a small mini event. Do not fret out about not sleeping just for the mini event, because you have more sleepless nights in the main event itself. I really enjoy this home button because just tell me there's something on. Alright, so the exclamation mark is to tell us there's something on in the station. Alright, so one last look at the ranking chart. Okay, so we have a good like 46, 9, roughly 5 times. 5 times 9, 45, so that's what I meant. Alright, so I'm going to upgrade this by first buying parts. Alright, it's here, 7,500 for 12 parts, just go for it. And then eventually can upgrade it. Alright, thank you for watching, do like and subscribe, and good luck. Goodbye.